Great work from them in Game 1. What have they got in store for Game 2 is a real question. I want to see how Joey Donuts does in this game because I really want to go back to what he was doing at the start because he had a great start to the game.
I would have to agree with you. He had so much confidence that whole game playing the Thor, even on level 3, trying to dive that tier 1 tower, knowing when he needed to escape, barely able to...
Any of the support, he would have got the kill.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, maybe not Kumakarna, you know, you can mess him.
That's true. Okay, fair play. But combo's not very meta.
That's very true. But still, there are some options here either way, whether or not it is the Geb. I wouldn't be surprised if SoaR Gaming doesn't get the opportunity to pick up Geb if Starboys picks it here.
Well, they're not going to get Osiris this game, that's for sure. That's what Starboys say to themselves, like, listen, we dealt one game with Osiris. Even though we're first pick, we're not going to let you get it because we don't want it either. What's the first pick option here? I'm saying Bellona in my head.
It's very possible here. Chaga's banned away as well. It's actually going to be the Raven here. Flex pick potential here between that solo jungle matchup. Seen it in the jungle a little bit more often than not. Could see it in the jungle, but solo lane matchup here should favor some Wukong to be able to clear safely.
Yeah, true. Some Wukong should be pretty safe in the lane if he does go up against Raven. And Cernunnos alongside it, so SoaR Gaming going to go a little bit better off than the Scotty. Zachsy kind of struggled in the early game. It came to its own towards the mid-late game once he got all that penetration, the cooldown reduction on line 2. But Cernunnos starts off a little bit better. Having
more control in these team fights with the Wild Hunt, turning everyone into piggies running around. But objective control, I would say, goes to Starboys at the moment with this Fafnir that Coerce can amplify Medusa's attack speed quite heavily, and that's a great god to give that attack speed to with the natural stare. Hybrid mix of physical power and defense, and Fenrir is the same way to follow up because of just his base damage. You don't have to rely on his scaling. All you have to do is just find the initial jump, and then that's going to have the cooldown of the Unchained, and then look to catch somebody out of position with that Ragnarok.
So many mages banned, and yet 1 or 2 still slip through. Poseidon is the final pick for the Starboys here. That's a great pick against Fenrir for the most part, just to stop him from the brutalize and Unchained to get away to the safety. You'd mentioned the Scylla though, and you were right.
It was for the SoaR Gaming though. I was expecting Starboys to pick up the Scylla instead, but either way, the cripple from Poseidon will, like you mentioned before, stop the Fenrir's ability to find the Unchained, find the brutalize. Not only that, the Kraken here alone, you're looking to really blow up the Geb in the early game, I think, if you're Starboys here.
And honestly, the Starboys composition is very similar to the last composition too. They do like a little bit of engage here. They're going to rely a little bit on Raven ulting in or Fafnir hammers to really potentially set them up, or just Camazotz diving in very deep.
Not the easiest ability to hit is the Fafnir's hammer, but having to rely on something instead is going to be a lot of the slows coming out of Dr. Flik, potentially maybe even the Root, but he's going to be in that solo lane playing the Raven, and he's not going to be in these team fights anytime soon. Yeah,
and up against some Wukong, it's just going to be a farm fest over there, I feel, more than anything else, at least in the early stages. We'll see what happens as one continues, though. Joey Donuts play the Camazotz is what I'm very excited about, because we saw his Thor play and how aggressive he was on the Thor. How aggressive can he get with it this time round on the Camazotz?
I don't expect anything to change for Joey Donut. The way he demonstrated his Thor capabilities means that he should play a relatively clean Camazotz as well. Those line skill shots aren't the easiest thing to hit in the world, but he's definitely shown his possibilities on the Thor.
Interesting change coming out this time from TheMedievalDoc. No blink for him, it's sprint, but once again, here's a gank in mid lane. We've seen that gank before, haven't we, boys and girls? The solo little pressure play in the middle. I tell you what though, if Dr. Flik had Sunder then, he was dead.
Absolutely, but I like the respect here to be able to go for the teleport instead. You poke out the mid-mage, which means that there's no possible way that SoaR Gaming can stop this speed buff invade, but allows Kaeydan now, along with StormyRays, to invade the blue and the speed of their own.
That's true indeed, and now Starboys get the purple buff, the blue buff, and the speed buff away from SoaR Gaming. SoaR Gaming return in the favor of the blue and the speed buff on the right-hand side, buffs on the left still standing, and the Elementals looks like they're going to go the way of Starboys too.
SoaR Gaming making the rotation on the left-hand side just for the mid Harpies. Not going to elect to invade the red buff quite yet, respecting the potential collapse that Starboys could look for after they're done on the right side jungling.
Not sure about Keegs and Medieval, maybe going for those left-hand Harpies there instead of their own red buff.
Yeah.
I guess they were worried about a potential fight with the duo lane, or they could themselves have looked at stealing the red buff from the enemy jungle, which could have been a safer option. In the end, it works out in favor of Starboys.
That's what I thought that they were going to do. They cleared the midway first because of the rotation from Starboys to be able to go on the right-hand side, giving a small window for SoaR Gaming to play with, but the call from the duo lane out of SoaR was made like, hey, listen, they're going to the jungle. I don't know if they're going to you guys potentially, but just watch out.
This is a really solid start from Starboys, though. They get the Oracles, they've got the Elementals, they're securing more of their own jungle, they're securing more of the enemy's jungle too. And that's working out more beneficial for them in terms of the experience you can see across the map.
The only thing that they haven't been able to really do is secure their own red buff, but thus far getting one buff above their opposition here. Dr. Flik, one level behind so far from StormyRays, doing a good job on the Sun Wukong, just passively farming. That's what you really want to do on an ability-based warrior that's trying to avoid boxing against any warrior that has a Death's Toll.
Is that all he's trying to, is that all you want to do as Sun Wukong then? Is just clear wave, use abilities, get out of dodge?
And then maybe even using your abilities on not only the wave, but if Dr. Flik aligns himself in such a way that you can min-max your damage potential, because that Master's Will does pretty good damage to clear the wave. That's exactly what StormyRays is maxing out.
Well, Kaeydan was on this right-hand side now, looking for a bit of pressure onto Dr. Flik, who's still trying to tank up the wave, prevent it from getting to towering so he can get all the gold from that. But sometimes it doesn't always work out in your favor, especially there's a cheeky Fenrir lurking around. Still level 4 though, but with these elementals spawning, you can see his level in the bottom left just under his little icon there. Should hit 5 off this.
Very quickly, StormyRays and Kaeydan taking that out. Level 5 onto StormyRays first. Kaeydan still level 4 though. Could look for a play here. Finds the stun.
And there's the minion that gives him level 5. Dr. Flik looking to get away. And what that was Kaeydan timing, trying to get his ultimate leveled up and then initiate with the ultimate instead of waiting out Dr. Flik, who was in an awkward spot. He was still level 4. They could have just run him down and autoed him to death. And the moment he uses the 2 to avoid damage, the overhead kick, that's when you use the Ragnarok.
That's right. The duration of the Ragnarok is about 5 seconds or so, and the overhead kick only lasts for about half a second or so. So you're playing with a huge window. We see so many times where a lot of players will look for those bait opportunities, whether or not they're playing Fenrir or other characters. You're also looking at a Ymir potentially, or a Geb, even Naja, like any character that can blink at you, you have to worry about it.
Started by Starboys here, petrified from Cameron. Kraken comes into play though. Gold Fury goes to SoaR Gaming. I don't know how exactly they got it. Was Keegs securing that? Was that what happened? SoaR Gaming got that Gold Fury.
It seems like, so KeegsMate used his ultimate before the Kraken came out, but the Kraken wasn't enough to secure that objective, surprisingly enough. DaleyDale on the Fafnir. The whole idea and the mindset is to get some of these early objectives.
Oh, Kaeydan doesn't get the speed buff. MedievalDoc doesn't get the cataclysm. Joey's still trading off with Kaeydan. And Kaeydan needs some support from that shield. Nicely done from MedievalDoc. Now StormyRays coming into play. But look at how much damage Dr. Flik did there. And it's going to force Kaeydan out. StormyRays too going to use the Tiger form to try and quickly return back to the solo lane. And calamity of events in game 2 for both teams so far.
No root connected from Dr. Flik. A nice little steal from SoaR Gaming. Gets them a slight edge here. About 800 gold or so. Not too much here heading into the 5-minute mark. But once they lose this blue buff, could be a little bit problematic for StormyRays. This is a god that really needs to rely on being able to spam abilities.
Well, he won't have it this time round, but the good news is he has teleport right now, and he's got a decent health pool to be able to just mana pool, I should say, to be able to clear the couple of waves for the time being. SoaR Gaming will get the Oracles to go with that somehow snuck Gold Fury away from underneath Starboy's nose. And that kind of hurt Starboys quite a bit, because that was a nice play.
Yeah, that should have definitely went for Starboys. They built a draft around some of this early objective clear. DaleyDale playing the Fafnir for the Draconic form, AoE Coerce, amplifying everybody's attack speed. Not only does it help Cameron get off faster shots, but whenever Cloud procs his Trident for that steroid, he's going to get off more in-hands during that duration. Not only that, you're also relying on that Whirlpool Kraken to secure it, and Starboys just not on the mark with that one.
Well, with the Golden Experience lead being in different teams' favor, it's an even game for the time being between the two. 1,000 experience one way, 500 gold the other. Nothing really to talk about. Top of the net worth are the two hunters right now. A little bit separating those two as it stands, with Zachsy having a nice little comfortable lead over Cameron here, 100 gold up.
Not too shabby here, as Cameron got the better end of Zachsy the last time around, but not as much as he would like compared to the last game. Still just comfortably farming quietly, waiting on some of these objectives with Joey Donut.
Yeah, Joey came around the corner then looking for a bit of pressure. Knowing that he had Fafnir in tow as well as Medusa, was looking to try and pressure out. But MedievalDoc smelled it out in the Geb too, so a 3-for-3 in that lane will turn into a 3-for-3 in mid lane. MedievalDoc knocking up. DaleyDale thinking about rotating that way, changed his mind though, as the minions are pushing against him.
Not something you want to be around that side of the map, because if you get caught out of position, here comes a Ragnarok that's dragging you under that tier 1 tower, and it's going to be a lot of problems for DaleyDale. So playing rather safe, then SoaR. Now on the right-hand side, still getting under his own tier 1 tower is StormyRays, forced to back on out here. Doesn't have teleport available, but he does pick up the Swift Wing to get back to lane quicker.
Yeah, just using that mobility again is something that we do seem to see SoaRboys, at least StormyRays, likes over in that solo lane. Talk about mid lane players on itemization. Doomo once again for Keegs. He likes this item, it seems totally. He always seems to be going back to it, whatever he's playing.
No matter if he's playing the top or the Scylla, which needs to be slightly closer than the top, he's relying on the safety of MedievalDoc with some of these Geb shields to be able to bail him out of a sticky situation.
And if it was him that secured, I think it was him that secured the goal for you, so maybe the Doom Mob comes into play with helping that out a little bit.
It could have, well, easily done so. Over the top is DaleyDale finding the underhanded tactics. KeegsMate is going to avoid the stun, using that Sentinel just to get under that tier 1 tower. The
Left-hand side, a bit of pressure coming out there from Cameron, but Zachsy had Medieval. I just thought MedievalDoc might have gone for a gank then for a second there, Tolly. Looked like he was looking for that rotation.
The difference between this game and the last one is that MedievalDoc doesn't have the blink, instead going for the sprint. Right-hand side, Ragnarok being used onto Dr. Flik. The Tiger Stun connects as well. The ultimate can be used here. He needs to be able to get away.
I love Flik's decision to try and go back into the jungle and make StormyRays make the mistake of ulting too early. Left-hand side, though, there's a fight going on too as SoaR Gaming got their first blood. It looks like Joey Donut's in trouble here, and the Armor Monster avoided thanks to the ultimate coming out. Keegs still alive, though, as Clow's trying to give chase. Keegs will fall down to Joey Donut, making it a 1-for-1. And meanwhile, the Cernunnos, Zachsy looking to get away, but Kaeydan's back in the fight.
Jumping into the action over the tier 1 tower. Nice little play, finding that 2-for-1 as KeegsMate does fall, resetting his Doom Orb stacks by half, but this Draconic form from DaleyDale could potentially bait out a little bit longer as Cameron is sitting pretty with full health and half mana.
Well, that's the end of the fight there. It's 2-for-1 across the map. 1-on-1 in the engagement on the left, but a 1-for-0 on the right-hand side in favor of StormyRays and SoaR Gaming.
Still a relatively even game here despite that Gold Fury from SoaR Gaming. It's going to respawn right at this moment. MedievalDoc will know about it here, trying to steal away one of these oracles, but a nice reset from Starboy is going to prevent that one.
Punch it, Medieval. Oh, you know what? When Geb gets it with basics, that's the dream. It's like, no, that's mine.
Any support that steals anything with a basic, that's just like one of the worst feelings in the world.
I think Geb's one of the hardest ones to do it with, though. I really feel Geb's the most awkward one to try and deal with.
Yeah.
Most of the other ones, it can be semi. Bacchus feels like he's got more range, you know? I think that's the thing. They've not got any different range. It just feels like they do because he's swinging that big old meat stick around most of the time. Geb's going to use literally his fist.
Yeah, Geb doesn't have any weapons, you know. That wine jug that Bacchus is carrying is pretty heavy, man. It's no joke.
It's a good point.
He got a recent change and he got more swole.
Yeah, he did get swole. That's true. I don't know why he got so swole.
I'm telling you,
carrying it around
just
all the
carrying
time.
around that wine jug, that's extra weight. That's like some Dragon Ball Z weighted clothing training.
To be fair, though, you say that, but I think Bacchus actually just generally drinks out of that jug most of the time, so it's not always full. If it was full, then I could understand it, but most of the time it's half empty.
But then the weight gets transferred into his stomach, so technically the weight just gets transferred, but you say half empty, but I say half full.
I know we're talking about Bacchus now, but you know, every time he goes back to base, yeah, that's basically him going to the bar for another drink.
That's true.
You realize that?
Gotta refill the jug.
He refills his jug every time. That's why he can keep drinking and chugging.
You know, he refreshes his mana, he refreshes his jug. StormyRays, though, half health, really not respecting the fact that Dr. Flik could look for some more damage potential.
He's got to be a little bit careful of rotations coming out, a la Joey Donut coming around to this right-hand side, who is currently level 10, matching that of Kaeydan in the jungle, the Fenrir and the Camazotz. Both having a decent time with so far. Medieval looking for Clowy mid.
Gonna knock him right
Beautiful.
outside. Good body block forcing out the beats. The damage is just unreal here. Not level 12 with the Aegis, so that was a nice clean pick.
Nothing really that you could see Cloud do there that would have saved him any earlier on. After his beads timing was perfect as well after the knockback hit him. He used his beads to avoid some of the knock-up, expecting the Cataclysm, but MedievalDoc held it for an extra second and that allowed Kaeydan to come in as well.
Cameron not getting the better end of that exchange, forced to go into health potion. Zachsy to follow up, though. About a 25% health difference between these two hunters. Red buff, though, for Cameron. Only purple for Zachsy. Ichaival for Zachsy, whereas we see the Transcendence for Cameron.
Cameron's in trouble. He's going to get a good petrify from Zachsy, who's trying to bait him in a little bit more because Kaeydan's on the rotation with a speed buff. No Lacerate available for Cameron. No petrify available for Cameron. Aegis is up, though, as Kaeydan dives the tower. And Cameron, recognizing that I could just box this at this point, does a good job of holding off.
Forces that defensive relic, which could give Kaeydan the next window here. About 145 seconds remaining on that defensive relic.
Joey Donut going aggressive, but surrounded by Kaeydan, Keeks, and MedievalDoc. Cracker from Clow only really hit onto MedievalDoc as Kaeydan's still alive. Joey wants the kill, leaps in the wrong direction, forces DaleyDale to go in, and Joey picks up the kill.
MedievalDoc trying to find the setup here. I'm a Monster connects onto Clow. He was looking for Joey Donut, but not going to find the reset. Zachsy finding Clow. So far it's been a 1 for 2. Girdle means go, but it's actually Starboys on the retreat.
Yeah, DaleyDale, low on mana, no ultimate available, and StormyRays now rotating in. We'll just make sure DaleyDale can't do much else, really. With Dr. Flik turning up too, it's going to be the end of the fight. 5 to 2, and it's stretching to just under 2k gold lead for SoaR Gaming.
Keegs.
No, did he get caught?
Oh, it seems that way. Cameron caught between a rock and a hard place. Wild Hunt being used just for good measure over the top with the Mystic Rush. KeegsMate's going to reset his Doom Orb stacks even further. Nice rotation from Dr. Flik. At the end of the day, that was a 3 for 2, I believe.
It was, and both the solo lanes really getting involved and making an impact with that very late rotation out of both of them, to be honest. I think if Keegs would have just ulted back towards his team, so Sentinel towards his team, he would have lived. And I tell you what, if Flik would have just kept on running, he might have been able to get away from 4 men running him down and giving SoaR Gaming another kill in their favor.
Oh, just a nice opportunity now. SoaR Gaming, they could go for Gold Fury or the Portal Demon. It looks like they're going to take the lesser of the 2 options while we see Zachsy rotate on the left, trying to min-max the farm potential out of his whole team.
Joey spots it going on. The Portal Demon, though, he had an understanding this could be happening. Can he get there in time to seal it away? The answer is no. And after leaping in, I'm so surprised SoaR Gaming didn't try and punish him for that, because I don't think they realized he was the only star boy in the area.
Not having the ultimate out of MedievalDoc, not having the control that they really need to, especially with all the abilities they use, trying to burn down that Portal Demon, giving them that 750 gold just in the nick of time. Not only that, Zachsy making that important rotation on the left hand, just min-maxing that farm.
Oh, Keegs just gets out of danger there. Whiskers of health, because that should have, Whirlpool was about to tick, and that purification would have been forced there, because he was in an awkward spot inside that Whirlpool.
Still 7 to 3, SoaR Gaming doing really well this game around. Last game they were struggling at this point, but able to dictate the early pacing.
So Tolly, at this point in the game, what are you looking for out of Starboys to get back into it? Is it things like this Gold Fury attempt here? Obviously the last one didn't work out well, but this one might go better.
It needs to be, but Zachsy's right around the corner. The Kraken comes out, but it's not enough. It's the I'm a Monster from Keegs securing it.
Kraken too early from Clow, and Kaeydan's going to collapse onto Cameron, and Cameron's in trouble, but there's a pickup of the Ragnarok on Clow, forcing his beads out too. MedievalDoc willing to dive the tower to give Kaeydan the ability to go in and pick up the kill. Beautiful work from the Geb player, and now Joey Donut is surrounded by 4 angles. The only way to really get out of this is either run for your life or kill them all, and the answer is neither, because he's going to fall down and die.
Stealing the Gold Fury, finding 3 kills. SoaR Gaming looking like they're on a complete tear in this second game. The objective control from Starboys is just too ambitious. I like their composition to try to go for it, but it's ill-advised at the wrong timing. They don't have the vision around the Gold Fury that they really need to, or the player advantage.
You got to look at Clow in this game. Honestly, like last game, some of the Gold Fury contests weren't necessarily all his fault, but this one, the Krakens there, both Krakens are technically there to secure the Gold Fury. Neither one has totally. Neither one killed anybody either. And that Kraken, that last one specifically, was so early that it was just like, well, thanks very much. Keegs can easily clean this up with an ammo monster.
It's also the difference of the item choices here between Keegs and Clow. Sunder being used, needs to find the root, does find it, but not committing. He thought the root would be enough to find the kill. If he just found the overhead kick or got in position to smack him with the fist, that would have been a clean kill.
And he could have tanked 2 tower shots to do that too. Like, he would have had the ability to do that, but in the end, he gets away, and Flik uses his relic for free. Clow in the mid lane though, with pressure from Joey Donut here. Could be looking for a bit of a chop onto Medieval, but just whacking away with the autos. Cloud didn't have the Whirlpool available just yet. 10 to 3 favors SoaR Gaming.
And still working on that Gem of Isolation, the different styles of these item choices between the Doom Orb and the Gem of Isolation, which is why we see more magical power for KeegsMate. MedievalDoc using the shield on himself. Cameron gets pulled back, and Kraken not enough damage onto the support. Cameron gets melted. Yeah,
Cameron's already off the map for Starboys now, and still they were trying to regress into the tower. DaleyDale was trying to give a window for Joey Donut to get out of danger, but now he's trapped against StormyRays as well as Kaeydan. Remember, there's no Kraken available for him, so the bat leaps over the wall into a Cernunnos, and with StormyRays comes down from his cloud to pick up the kill. Joey dies, and now DaleyDale too. Next on the list, it's Dr. Flik.
That's 3 kills so quickly. Dr. Flik is going to be the 4th one, nowhere to go. MedievalDoc recognizes this, just backing into base. Cloud can only watch from a distance without his ultimate, without much mana to follow up. He has to give up this tier 1 mid tower, and SoaR Gaming racking in another objective with 500 gold, and they could easily go for tier 2 here.
They really could. We've got a full minion wave coming in, and Cloud low on mana, probably enough for a whirl Whirlpool, and if he goes too deep, he may get picked, or at least hit by a crush. If he was lucky, see it's still Stormy's going to push him back too. Nice little route from Keegs. You saw how much damage that's doing now from the second already, as a big gold swing is in SoaR's favor there, just off those two objectives.
That one route truly shows the power out of Scylla. Every time you max out an ability, you get more magical power, and despite having 2 deaths already for KeegsMate, he's able to still keep his Doom Orb fully stacked. The communication behind your teammates to allow you to get these last hits has to be on point to min-max your damage potential in these team fights.
I completely agree now. So 17 minutes in, 17 kills involved. Gold leader's in great position. We already saw 8,000, 12,000 experience too. And the Fire Giant is the next turning point, I think, for SoaR Gaming now, as Keegs gets pressured out by Joey Donut again. I like the fact Joey's still being aggressive. I think they shouldn't have gone for Fafnir more than anything else. If they would have gone for like a Capri or something like that, could have worked out so much better, because Joey keeps going down like this.
But the Kraken does find the cleanup kill, trading out the lives here, resetting the Doom Up stacks will favor out Starboys in the long run.
Lesson from Medieval. Zachsy's in trouble in the back though, because Cameron wants to kill. Got a great shield from Medieval as well. Will keep his hunter alive. Cameron's just choosing to box it out because he realizes he wasn't getting away from anyone. And while their backs were turned, the monkey was causing issues for Clow. And now DaleyDale will fall as well. 4 kills again really quickly. You serious?
Well-timed rotation from StormyRays, and in the right-hand side, Dr. Flik is just sitting between Tier 1 and Tier 2, not making an impact at all. His teleport was on cooldown for another 70 seconds. Starboys just unfortunate victim of a bad time. 10,000 gold behind SoaR Gaming.
And that's a bit of credit to StormyRays having his teleport on a different cooldown to Dr. Flik, just based off his ability usage of that teleport. Flik used it at the wrong time quite clearly, and it's worked out favorably for SoaR to get the Portal Demon, and now maybe even kill Dr. Flik, who was waiting over the wall.
No! KeegsMate, nice route, bouncing it off the blue buff to guarantee it, not connecting on the Yama monster, but his teammates are there to follow up regardless.
Good news, once again now, for SoaR Gaming is that they're in a 4v5, because Flik's now dead for another 40 seconds. I don't know why Flik hung around. Flik should have probably based there, knowing the rotation from SoaR was on its way. He heard the Portal Demon fall. You hear the Portal Demon fall when it goes down, you should be back into base there. You know they're going to rotate on you and try and pick you if they can.
Just nowhere to go. All the time between a Rock and a Hardblaze is the solo laner. Can't make the necessary rotations comparatively to StormyRays. That has this 3-level comfortable
and
lead.
Kaeydan just catches Clow on his own, and there's no real peel chance coming out from the team of Starboys here, as Joey Donuts is now having a bad time against StormyRays, who was trying to box with him. Suncloud on, Joey Donuts in trouble, leaps onto StormyRays' clone. Kaeydan's still hanging around for support, and he's actually going to allow StormyRays to get the kill with the Master's Will.
DaleyDale can't really make the impact either here. It's these two frontline warriors that are just truly taking advantage of this experience gap. Kaeydan, level 17, only level 13 on this Camazotz.
And Petrify?
Just to try to peel, get them off of their back. We see the Sunder, we see Mystic Rush trying to catch KeegsMate even further. The Blink Shield keeping his mid-mage alive. The Crush coming out. Cataclysm capitalizing on Dr. Flik's aggression.
I'm not sure why Starboys are continuing to fight this. He's just running in and having fights all day. Now DaleyDale's on his own, causing more issues than anything else, but he's already dead. He was just trying to keep them busy. Camera's just standing there raw attacking, really.
Just a clutch blink yet again from MedievalDoc. Oh, Keegs! Yet again, very bold move here, diving in the backline. 1v2 MedievalDoc right on the corner. I'm a monster! Resets yet again, but doesn't want to go through the whirlpool quite yet. Joey Donut needs to capitalize on this, but it's StormyRays that's going to be able to heal in the clouds.
Meanwhile, Fire Giant's going on. Thanks to Zachsy, just tanking it away. Now Kaeydan turns up too. This is getting out of hand in SoaR's favor very, very quickly. I think Starboys, after getting decided and then losing 4 members, they're kind of just off the mark all of a sudden now. StormyRay is just a sponge of damage, honestly. That Kraken just tickled the Wukong that's sitting level 19. He doesn't even have that much magical defense. He has a shifter shield. But then again, Clow and the Poseidon went for the utility options here more often than not. He's gone for the Gem of Isolation, which gives him more CC control. But at the same time, he's also got the Legion Helm, which gives him more defenses, but it doesn't increase his damage output as much as a normal item, totally. Not the same impact that KeegsMate is able to bring with a full glass cannon, because the fact that there's 2 different styles of support. Because of such a defensive support from SoaR Gaming, this allows Keegs to go full glass cannon, whereas DaleyDale playing the Fafnir is more of an offensive support than a defensive peeler. This style looks to me as like the highs and lows of Starboys composition. Game 1 was great. I think they played really well as a team, Starboys. Game 2, different story, especially when you've got people like Kaeydan now, who are technically just having fun at the expense of Starboys, having 5 members trying to chase down a wolf. And then Geb turns up to slow them all down, and then StormyRays is on his way, and now the fight turns on its head, and it's 3v5 still. Joey Donut's forced to ult defensively. Still a 3v5.
Trying to run away, StormyRays and Kaeydan jumping onto
Still a
Cameron.
3v5.
2v2 on the left as
4v5.
Till KeegsMate starts to make the rotation. Crush not on the mark. The girdle means go, and Cameron, first victim of this team fight. Right-hand side, though, still Zachsy split pushing.
And Clow is going to fall down any minute now. Out of Marta, Medieval just running away towards him. Blinks in front of him, it's a body block. Clow still just trying to duke it out, but that's it, that's game. I can see it was going to come to an end there with how Starboys had kind of given up the go. Surrender vote comes through, 24-4. Complete difference in game 1 to game 2.
There was no coming back after that one. Once that Fire Giant got secured, there was just no potential for Starboys. Great performance from SoaR Gaming.
Sure.
I'm really looking at KeegsMate here, playing the top game 1, Scylla in game number 2, just this doom orb. But it was all set up by the aggressiveness from TheMedievalDoc on the blink, as well as StormyRays diving that backline.
Yeah, StormyRays caused a lot of problems for his opposition in that set, playing the Sun Wukong once again, just keeping them busy and just continuing to annoy them more often than not. And up against, you know, the early on pressure that a Ravana can bring to this lane, he did a very good job of staying even and continuing to pressure out.
And in this replay, he just predicted every maneuver from Dr. Flik on this Ravana, just no worries at all. Even min-maxing his Tiger from the full distance that he could, connecting onto Cameron, catching him off guard there, and KeegsMate able to get away.
And then Joey Donut too, so it's just over and over again. He's just like, okay, well, I'll punch you in the face, I'll turn into a tiger and punch you in the face. You think you're gonna get away? No, because I'm on a cloud, and I'll get a kill as well. 12-3 at that point, and this is another kill that's about to follow up straight after that. So it's just consistent play from StormyRays.
It's just in the right place at the right time. And this rotation right here, he sacrificed his tier 1 tower to be able to make it. As we saw, Dr. Flik didn't have the teleport available to get into that one.
Well, 4 sets down so far, 2 EU, 2 NA. Still got one more North American game to bring you. We'll be back after the break with that set.
Check it, every day we're getting it. Hey, hey, check it, put the play lace up. Yeah, we know what we made her. Can't get enough of you, boo. I'm a chaser. Face her. Now I feel a little major. Blink of an eye. Ego, I'ma take her. Shake her. Yeah, she was a born shaker. She shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Something like a rose when we came out there. We settle facts like Da Vinci. I'm breaking codes, so breaking backs. Come on, get your ass up if you're slipping. Put another smile like it was the last Christmas.
Put your hands in the air, we'll be alright.
That's right.
You keep messing up my mind, but I love your style. And I'm loving your lips like a candy bar. I ain't kidding, I just wanna have ya. Ain't kidding, I just gotta have ya. Girl, you like a nine diamond. Every time when you put your smile on, really wanna get to know you better. Loving every minute we're together. A king, a queen to be. If I pop the question on my knees, cause you kill a competition. Got a body divine, what a vision. Wanna see you move, yeah. Hurry up before I lose, yeah. I'm addicted to your hot kiss. I can't take it no more. Put your hands in the air, we'll be alright.
Yeah.
You keep messing up my mind, but I love your style. And I'm loving your lips like a candy bar. I ain't kidding, I just wanna have ya. Ain't kidding, I just gotta have ya.
Hey, find me in the bar, I ain't going outside. In this cold ass winter, gotta roll up and out. See it from afar, got my thoughts in the sky. Where we used to kiss, sunshine, shit and wild. You gotta call me every day, pretend you my baby. I see more real out there lately, it's crazy. Yeah, we could be the same as we claim in this kingdom shit and keep it tame. Come on, baby girl, we're not the same. Two different speeds, but we keep it one lane. Yeah, what goes around comes around. Keep 100, y'all. Do this for my soul like a dawn, but still you
Put your hands in the air, we'll be alright. Oh, you keep messing up my mind, but I love your style. No, I'm loving your lips like a candy bar. I ain't kidding, I just wanna have ya. Ain't kidding, I just gotta have ya. Yeah, starting with a little small talk. People whistling from the sidewalk. I just wanna spend some time together, and this night will keep on getting better. We step into the club, I can feel the room is full of love. Cause you play the top division, we'll be running the night, it's a mission. Yeah, wanna see you move, yeah. Hurry up before I lose, yeah. Cause I'm addicted to your hot kiss, and I can't take it no more.